At Google, we work very hard to provide the world with the most accurate information when it comes to our new artificial intelligence called Gemini. Are you serious? When asked to create a photo of a Viking, it creates a photo of a black person and some Indians. When asked to create an image of America's founding father, it creates wait for it, a black person. I don't know, 1943 German soldier, a black person. Well, what's up with that? And it goes on. Ask it to create an image of a strong white man. It says, nope, it goes against our terms of service. But ask it to create an image of a strong black man, no problem, it creates the image. It just seems like it hates white people. So we hate white people because we are training it. So what's that? Okay. This was very unnecessary. I already feel like Justin Trudeau. Let's just do this. At Google, we is working very hard to...
Those 1933 black Germans were just really awful human beings. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and crazy news to get into today. As of course, the situation is not all right domestically and internationally. It's just as tumultuous. As of course, we have a lot of crime. We have a lot of immigration to deal with. What's the truth of what's really going on here? Well, we're going to be doing our best to try to uncover that, plus a lot more with all the latest news, as many fear a global conflict has already started in 2014. What are we talking about? Well, stay tuned for that and a lot more. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is from Catch Up. I just found out about these guys. They're pretty good. They post a lot of videos, and their latest iteration of a Google apology video is absolutely freaking hilarious because it's right on the nose. The nose. But their latest explanation and backtracking over their very discriminatory, over their very intolerant, over their very lack of diversity, artificial intelligence is extremely telling, especially with this being one of the major companies that their platforms the majority of the population relies on. I even have to think to myself, oh yeah, we're criticizing Google on Google's platform. That probably won't work out too good for us, as of course it hasn't helped us before. That's why we keep telling people to sign up to lukeunfiltered.com. But Google is in hot water as their parent company lost $70 billion in market value in a single day of trading after this woke AI chatbot disaster that essentially had them worshiping the golden cow of wokeness to the point of not only absurdity, but to some larger financial ramifications that more and more people are having some serious issues with. As it definitely does seem like there is some kind of, replacement going on here. Yeah, we're going to have to save that for our own platform. As of course, it's also pretty telling that a lot of people are told to enter the United States for opportunities that are provided to them while being denied to the actual American people and citizens that live in this country. As of course, we have a major migrant crisis that is very serious. Millions and millions of people have entered the United States without any proper documentation, without being identified. All of them have court proceedings that have filled the courtrooms and will make it virtually impossible to hear all of them, as they are also some of the major victims here, as Dr. Phil recently was on The View and really shocked some of the TV personalities on there with some facts about what happens to migrant children on the southern border, as there's a lot of trafficking, a lot of really awful people that are taking advantage of this illegal situation, and with the help of NGOs and liberal organizations that are financed by secretive billionaires. They have essentially, in my opinion, weaponized human trafficking to a very egregious point and are continuing to do so all in the name of democracy. This, as of course, there have been a lot of gruesome crimes connected to a lot of the people who illegally violated American law and entered the United States without doing it through the proper means. As we keep hearing story after story of illegal immigrants taking matters into their own hands and committing illegal actions, as of course lots of people believe that the criminal class is being sent over by many Latin American countries in order to not to deal with them in their country, but to just send them over here. As of course, why wouldn't they do that? It's a situation that of course they're taking advantage of. We've seen it previously done with Fidel Castro in Cuba. And this could explain a lot of crimes that are connected to, of course, illegal immigration that the corporate media and Democratic establishment do not want you talking about, as well as Google as well. So, yeah, this says New York is waging legal lawfare against political opponents and the former president of the United States as they're literally releasing violent illegal aliens onto the streets. This says many people are apprehended, many people are arrested and literally released the next day, as the FBI keeps infiltrating parents, teacher, school conferences, investigating people for their political thoughts and expressions while releasing photos like this, blaming two white women for the higher prices out there in retail and the fact that businesses are closing because of them stealing products from private companies. Yes. As Denny Polishuk pointed out, these girls are the reason the frozen pizzas are locked up in local Walgreens stores. And this perfectly highlights larger questions of the American people can ask themselves, whoa, what are these guys doing? Are you kidding me? Leaving some people in the comment section to ask, why didn't they put MAGA hats on them? Some people asking if Gemini AI actually created this image. As the reality of the matter is quite different than what the FBI purports it to be. But now that we're getting canceled by Google and raided by the FBI, don't forget to support us on LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? As of course, we are going to be doing an in real life meetup this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where we just hang out, break bread, sit down, talk to each other, get to know each other, and build a larger community here. As of course, I think it's absolutely critically important for people to talk to each other, to get to know each other, and we're going to be facilitating that here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Another way to support us is to check out our shop, as of course some of our products are running low and we probably will not be selling them in the future, so get them while supplies last on wearechange.shop. As of course I have my supplements here. I definitely recommend supplementing the right things for you as an individual, and that's why we keep talking about health a lot on LukeUnfiltered.com. Today's special broadcast for members is going to be talking about a mistake that I think I made with my health that I think could be very important for people to understand. But again, supplementation, especially with how poisonous our food and water supply has become, is absolutely key and crucial, not just according to me. Other individuals like Joe Rogan are also big proponents of it, and this is why we created wearechange.shop, our own line of supplements. Again, talk to your medical professional before taking anything into your own body, but we have a lot of great stuff, including ashwagandha, which is some really powerful stuff, which you should do some research on before taking yourself, as of course it has a lot of really good, profound effects for most people, not all of them. And something that I personally use, something that personally helped me. And this is especially good if you're dealing with a lot of stress and if you're trying to safeguard your testosterone and to actually get some real gains in the gym. So yeah, check out the Chill Pill. Check out all the stuff that we have available to you. We have information about these supplements. We have videos by independent media creators available for them as well, all on wearechange.shop. We have 4 great products. Get them right now while supplies last. As of course, the cost of business is pretty gosh darn expensive, and that's why we probably won't be doing another run of these. As of course, the U.S. Federal Reserve needs their pound of flesh and needs to finance the larger kind of proxy war in Ukraine that is now expanding and growing and soon potentially might be already a global conflict. This as Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, just came out publicly and said that he does not rule out sending French troops to Ukraine, as of course there has been scuttlebutt. There have been public conversations about the European Union sending their own soldiers to Ukraine in order to fight the Russians. This, of course, would trigger a larger global conflict. It would trigger NATO Article 5, as Russia has announced in response to this update by Emmanuel Macron that Russia will be going to war with NATO if their troops are deployed inside of Ukraine. This is according to The Telegraph, as of course this is not a surprise, as Vladimir Putin, even a couple months ago, said, hey, if Ukraine joins NATO, which there's actual serious conversations about, which the NATO chief just a couple of moments ago said is going to be happening, this means that there will be a full all-out war between NATO and Russia. This has been something that has been in the works for a very long time. It is absolutely something that should be a key focus of our attention. And it is not, because we're discussing a lot of other nonsense that absolutely has no merit as our world is being plunged into utter frickin' chaos. As the Kremlin, again, is warning of inevitable war that has been brewing for a very long time, ever since 2014, ever since the Maidan Revolution, ever since the Russian-Trump collusion story that we knew wasn't true, called out for not being true, were labeled heretics by the state and corporate media, as now it officially did come out that, yeah, they just kind of made it up as a form of, most likely, predictive programming here. And again, with Emmanuel Macron making these statements, it's not just him saying that, quote, nothing should be excluded from the list of possibilities of their involvement when it comes to this proxy conflict, as of course, this is already a war between Ukraine and Russia, with the Western world financing, backing, aiding, supporting, and giving everything they can to the Ukrainians. So a lot of people are saying, what difference would it make if we just added an extra step here? As of course, we are already financing international mercenary groups from Colombia to do the fighting for the Ukrainians. What difference would it make if we just sent our own troops there? As of course, we're paying for other troops to already do this from all over the world. And in response to this latest development, NATO countries are actually scrambling to deny that there's any kind of logistics or plans for this. This, as some European nations are trying to, of course, roll back the statements made by the French president, who, of course, had his own meetings with Vladimir Putin, and even a couple years ago was absolutely releasing a lot of very eye-opening statements about his previous encounters with Putin, which a lot of people thought was very hyperbolic back then, but looking at the current situation now, they were pretty much on point here. Now, with European Union countries trying to roll back this statement, will this make any kind of difference? No. Because, as we see from their latest moves, especially with NATO expansion towards more Russian territory, especially now with Sweden clearing the final hurdle to join NATO, with the Daily Mail even describing a situation of a Nordic nightmare for Putin that will essentially turn a NATO lake right on its border. This highlights some very concerning news as, of course, the stage is being set. The battle lines are being drawn, and we are on a pathway, on a train with no exit ramp off towards a full, all-out global war, which a lot of people would argue we are already in. Some would say it has started in 2014, since the overthrow of the former Ukrainian-Russian regime. And I think they make a very good, compelling point. As, of course, looking back at this particular history, I really do hope that we look back and find out that cooler heads prevailed here, but I don't think that's going to be happening here. What do you think is going to be happening here? Let me know down in the comment section below. I got one more video coming your way on lukeunfiltered.com, and we have another special broadcast, 6 p.m. Eastern, available to you guys here on this particular YouTube channel. So click the subscribe button, click the notification button. Another major live 2-hour show, 6 p.m. Eastern, on today here on youtube.com/wearechange. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys subscribing, clicking the notification button, and because you do, that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.